to share their insights on the ensuring skilled workforce for the global market. Join me in extending a warm welcome to Mr. Vijay Singh, Vice Chancellor, Scope Global Skills University, Mr. Swapnil Ajmera, Enterprise Director, Coursera, Dr. Vinith Kumar Nair, Vice Chancellor, Symbiosis University of Applied Sciences, Mr. Vijay K. Agarwal, Vice Chancellor, RKDF University, and Mr. Swarup Mehrotra, Professor, PSS, Central Institute of Vocational Education, and Dr. Sudesh Kumar Sohani, Vice Chancellor, Chirayu University. And to moderate this session, I would request Anannya Saraswat, Sub-Editor of APAC Media.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
Thanks, Navasha, and thank you all the guests for being with us here today. Please give a round of applause to our esteemed panelists. As we navigate the evolving landscape of education and employment, one thing is clear. The demand for a highly skilled workforce has never been greater. With advancements in technology, shifting industry needs, and increasing global competition, universities and online learning platforms play a pivotal role in preparing individuals for the dynamic workforce. However, a significant gap still exists between academic curricula and industry needs. Therefore, let's discuss some of the critical aspects revolving around industry-academia collaboration for skill development. My first question, a common question to all the vice chancellors and professor present here is, what's the one big challenge that prevents the universities or your universities specifically from creating a workforce with industry-relevant skill sets? One challenge that you would like to highlight, and you can take a minute, each one of you. I would like to start with sir. Yes, sir.
So, as per my view, the problem is that the industries who are seeking this workforce, skilled workforce, they are not giving us that kind of exposure, what kind of requirements they are having in their industries. So, if they are having that kind of provision so that they can have COEs in the campus, or they can share with us the problems which they are facing in the industries, so students can have that kind of skill set after going all the way with these COEs and can work with the industry platforms. So after that, they can they can be a skilled manpower, proper skilled manpower after that.
Hello. I'm Professor Vijay K. Agarwal, Vice Chancellor, RKDF University. My point of view is very clear. Actually, the universities are taking curriculum as per the government norms. The syllabus is framed by the Central Board of Studies sometimes, and then universities are not allowed to add some new things in the curriculum. So first thing is that the curriculum procedure, the how to make the syllabus should be given to the institutions and universities. And second thing is that if the universities are in demand of industries, they should for the hand holding, then industries should also come forward for the hand holding of the academic institutions.
Hello. I am Dr. Sudesh Kumar Sohani, Vice Chancellor of Chirayu University. I think your question is the challenges students have been facing, like, no?
Students or your university in providing them the skills that they need for the global skill workforce. Yeah.
So I think it is a nationwide challenge bringing the students into the classes, and the same challenge students also facing that going to the classes, like, no? That has become because of there may be multiple reasons. One of them may be that they have the entire knowledge available on the laptop or in their hand, just click of the button, they are reaching out to anything they want to learn. So coming to the university many times, those who are all very talented may not be opting to come to the university or the classrooms, and those who are all having very low level, they of course, they never want to be, it's a big challenge to be sitting and then learning something or working on the labs or the shop floor or whatever. So of course, there has to be a lot of research required how to get them to learn at the
Right.
place. Thank you.
So good afternoon, all of you. I'm Dr. Vinith Nair, Vice Chancellor for the Symbiosis University Indore. So as I see the problem, problem is multifaceted when it comes to a skilled university like us. One of the major reason would be, I'm also coming from an academic fraternity, but I would also like to say that there are a lot of things which academicians also need to look into as far as the change is concerned. So somewhere when we are talking about the skill framework, skill university framework, what happens is, still many of our faculty members are still in the conventional or the traditional framework. Okay. So, and you know what, there are different types of universities. There are maybe teaching universities, research intensive universities, or skill intensive universities. So say, when I talk about my university, we have got a skill frame, we follow the skill framework where 70% is practical and 30% is theory. So what happens is, to get the right people to skill our students becomes a challenge. Because if I'm getting it from the open market, I'm getting those faculty who are used to the other framework, that is 30% practical and 70% theory. So that's one challenge which we are facing right now. Second would be, as sir was rightly saying, getting the students into the classroom. Okay, so that's again a major challenge right now. And I personally feel that this challenge has become multifold after the COVID. Okay, pre-COVID and post-COVID, the whole orientation of the student community has changed. So the attention span of the students have come down drastically. So I would rather say that, say, somebody who was listening to a Bollywood music of say 5 minutes now listens to a 3.5 minute music, and the music, it's coming down to say 2 minutes or even 1.5 minutes. So now you're getting a new breed of students who are basically more used to reels. So where, the attention span, you're talking about, say, 1 minute to 1.5 minutes. So imagine if your lecture is of 1 hour, 60 minutes, how are you going to catch the attention span of the students? So I see both these, from a student perspective and from the faculty perspective, I feel these are the two major challenges if you're allowing me to name them.
Right.
Yeah.
Hello. A very good afternoon to all of you. At the outset, I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me to this very important conclave on skill. As we all know that today, skilling is a very important aspect. And as has been already highlighted in the National Education Policy 2020, that we need to start early. So one of the biggest challenge to us is that how do we remove this social stigma attached to the vocational education? So we need to really involve all the stakeholders, including the industry, in bringing about that kind of awareness amongst the various stakeholders, including, most important, the parents. Institutions have been trying to do their best. I would say Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship created. We have National Skill Development Corporation, sector skill councils are there. In spite of all these things, we have not been able to make that kind of transformation as regard to providing industry-oriented skill training. There have been many reasons for that. One, as Professor Agarwal has rightly said, that the curriculum is very rigid. The structure of the curriculum is so rigid that in spite of all efforts, institutions are not able to bring about that kind of change in terms of pedagogy. We have to really bring this change in pedagogy. When we say pedagogy, it's the art and science of teaching. But vocational pedagogy is the art, science, and craft of teaching. So we have been missing on that front, that we have not been able to create an environment or an ecosystem where craft is given importance.
Right.
we still look at handicrafts as something, I mean, the menial work, So dignity of labor and all these issues have to be addressed along with the industry. There's a transition from school or college or universities to the industry. And there's a sudden shock for the pass outs when they enter the industry. Because you have to really work, you have to produce output, you have to be productive. So time management and all those issues and your attitude, all those things matter a lot in the industry.
Right.
But children or the youth is not prepared for that. So it's a shock for him. So just like in tissue culture, when you bring in the tissues and you have to put them into the conditioning at the poly house and then take them to the field. So that aspect is missing. In addition to that, we don't have many industries. If you talk about northeastern region, there are very few industries. And we cannot just think of matching skills with the industry. We have to match qualifications with the skills. If I require a web designer and publishing assistant on a large scale, but you are not producing them, you don't have a job role for that, then there's a mismatch.
Right.
So we have to really look at the qualifications also. What are those qualifications as per the employment? And according to that, you need to prepare students for those skills.
Right.
So mismatch between the skill and qualification is also a major issue which has not been addressed. And we have to also change the recruitment policies. So far, we have not been able to introduce the requirement of NSQF levels in our employment scenario. We just still say you should have 10 plus 2 with biology, physics, chemistry, and all those things. We need to put this national skill qualification levels that you should have qualified these levels in order to get this job. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Swapnil, you have heard them all, and now I come to you for an industry perspective. So, these were some of the multifaceted challenges that were highlighted by the universities were that there's a problem with the exposure, then the curriculum is very rigid, then there are technology-driven challenges, and there's an attention span challenge also, and the skill mismatch that was highlighted. So, where does Coursera come in now, and how does it support universities and institutes in closing this gap?
Sure. Hi, my name is Swapnil and I am the Enterprise Director at Coursera. Very valid challenges, very real challenges that institutions and students face when it comes to developing these right skill set. But there are some positives as well that I would say that over the period that we have observed, thankfully now with respect to latest UGC norms that up to 40% learning can happen through online MOOCs platforms like Coursera. I think that's one great degree of opportunity that we can bring in industry-aligned curricula. So that propels the need that how we can quickly adapt and also take into account the global content which is available. I'm saying this with a little bit of confidence because the content that's there on Coursera comes from about 225 global universities and there are 100 plus industry partners. So which gives us the edge to not only have the cutting edge content, but the new and emerging technology content is also available that helps students to hone the right set of skills. And secondly, coming to the topic that we are discussing today, how do we ensure that students are ready with a global skill set or global workforce? So when the content is coming itself from these global universities, the thought process is the same, that if we can develop those right kind of skill set to the students with each and every certification and the course that we have. And the good part about Coursera is like each certification or the course that we offer, we follow skills taxonomy. So it's very easy for us to measure the progress of the students, how they're developing those skills. In fact, it's leading to a very good conversation with the employer fraternity as well. And we've seen these amazing conversations between the training and placement team and the employers that, oh, these are the skill sets that my students carry. Can they have now better opportunities? What can we do more about it? So I think that's one area wherein definitely Coursera can add a lot of value when it comes to giving the right set of skill set and global exposure to the students, I believe.
Got it. Thank you. So, my next question is to Vijay Singh sir and Vinay Swarup sir. According to you, what are some of the global best practices for preparing an industry-ready workforce? And what are some of the best practices that you would want to adopt for your university? So, first Vijay Singh sir can answer and then we can go ahead with Vinay sir.
As far as global scene is concerned, the universities are attached, means the industries are having some attachment with the universities. I have some examples like in Germany, BMW is attached with some university, or other companies are also attached with universities. So they are exposed, the students are exposed to those industries which are already running, blooming, and so that the students can get the actual skill set from the companies. So if we in India we can do the same practice, definitely we'll have the edge as far as other countries are concerned, where we can give exposure to students through these companies. So I think this is the major area where we have to work hard. We are having a lot of COEs in the campus, like Hyundai or Hero or some other companies also having COEs in the campus at present, and they are giving that kind of skill set to the students which are studying in the universities. But still, many more companies to come with these universities which are actually focusing on skills like us. So we are a skills university present in Bhopal, and it is Central India's first private skills university. So we are focusing on actual skill set to be given to students through these companies.
Got it.
So I'll give you two specific examples. One is of BMW, like what Vijay Singh ji has mentioned. I have been there to their factory. And the plate is lifted and a car comes out. You know, that kind of automation is there. But what they have done is they have started a small company concept to prepare entrepreneurs also. So as you are all aware that Germany, Switzerland, many other countries, they have a very strong apprenticeship training system. So one key takeaway here is that we need to really look at our model of apprenticeship training. We have to revisit that because it's not really working the way it should be. What Germany and Switzerland is doing, we are not doing that way. So we have to really modify this model of apprenticeship training and think of involving more of the companies who take the responsibility of grooming these youth or children to that level. So 15 years plus children, they go to these companies and they do apprentices. Now, the other model which is there is the South Korean model, where you have Meister schools. So I've visited some of those Meister schools and I've seen that kind of umbilical cord that they have developed with the industries, like for example, Samsung and all. So the students are being prepared and they are given the best of the infrastructure, equipment. They have makers skill lab. They are given resources where they can innovate. They can do a lot of creativity work. So those kind of things that we need to bring in our school system, where you involve industry in terms of setting up the labs or the workshops and take the ownership.
Right.
You know, in schools of Korea, they have principals of the schools from the industry. You won't find anywhere in India. This change you have to bring. People who have been practicing vocational education should be brought in the schools, and they will then transform the skill education in the schools. So this is the kind of transformation that we need to bring.
I would also like to hear from Vijay Agarwal sir. What do you think about?
Actually, I totally agree with what Professor Mehrotra is saying. We have to see our institutions with the socio-economic perspective also. Our institutions are in villages also. Some of the technical education is being imparted in rural area also. They are from the marginalized class of the society. So how they can go to some big places to get trained there for some skill? So it is better that industry should come forward and they should establish some of the workshops in the institutions or universities. We are doing in that area. We have electronic vehicle workshop installed in our university and some carbon capture plant also. So we are doing that. So that way, the marginalized class of the students will be facilitated for the skill development.
So if you have anything to add, please.
Hello. In a global perspective, what actually remains the target for the parents as well as the students that learn some kind of skills so that they can get a fine job, Saat Samundar Par somewhere in a developed country like USA and Europe. So that becomes a kind of not working in the perspective of the Indian scenario like. So what is happening that people have some different targets for skilling. It is some very specified few skills students have been trying to acquire, and universities are pushing that particular programs and this, so that the students are employable elsewhere, not in the country like. Whereas the all developed countries, I think yesterday only Trump has floated another gold visa. He has been wanting that the talent who have been taught in that country in the top universities, they should be retained in the country itself. Instead, they go back to their country and do it like. So some kind of that mindset has to be there. Like I think Dr. Mehrotra has been narrating that the ancillaries, targeting the ancillaries, some kind of skills to be provided in the universities or maybe somewhere, some laboratories should be developed. Because small industries can help the country to have a big production. That ancillary development, if can be part of, there can be a kind of right coupling between the apprenticeship trainings. I think that apprenticeship was floated long back in 1961. And then I think still the same framework is going on. People, they have been lauding so much, but it remains the same scene. So getting the right skills to be taught, developed through workshops and the shop floors and wherever, people should be working for that, all policymakers. I think we can, of course, contribute whenever we have been asking to be doing that. So we prepare some documentation, but it all goes to the a non-working kind of scenario, because they are always in a hurry to be just pushing something like that, no? And so was the case with the 2020. What is that? I think everyone knows it. Like, thank you.
So Vinith sir, what's your perspective on this?
So, I mean, professors have talked about the German model and the South Korean model. And in our university also, we are following the German model only. I mean, there was a lot of research that was done while establishing this Symbiosis University of Applied Science in Indore, when it was set up in 2016. And when you look into the framework, I mean, we also have the Lucas lab, the C4I4 lab, a retail lab is there. We got a banking lab. Everything is there. But I mean, on a different note, I mean, when we talk about adapting models, and when you're talking about the German model of education, or we talk about the Singapore model of education, but India is not Germany or Singapore, okay?
Right.
So we have our own, intricacies. I mean, and India has a lot of mini Indias in it. Probably what works in South may not work in the North. What works in, say, Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu may not work in, say, UP, Madhya Pradesh or Bihar. So there are a lot of those intricacies which are there. So when you talk about adopting that model as it is to the Indian framework, probably that is one reason we may be failing. Okay. Yeah, the apprenticeship model is a very good model. And I mean, in our university also, we have got the same model. I mean, say, when you're talking about a BTech program, the final semester is going to be a project. And for an MBA program, we may be having a 2 months internship between the 2 years, and then they are sent for a 6 months project. So there are a lot of those hands-on things are there. But what I'm saying is, I mean, if you are looking up to some models which are there in the world. I mean, like say we talk about the German model or the South Korean model, may be a good model to look at, but blindly following that model may not be the solution to the problems that we have.
True.
And we also need to look into the level of education of the people.
Yes.
I mean, somebody who was, I mean, I was just being asked, I am from North or South. So first 22 years I've been in the North. I mean, I was born and brought up in Ujjain in Madhya Pradesh, which is a very small town. And yeah, my roots are in Kerala because my parents are from Kerala. But in the last 22 years I've been in the South. I could say a hell lot of a difference when it comes to the
Definitely.
education in the South and the North also. I mean, there are a lot of those complexities. I'm not trying to tell which is best and which is not. I'm not talking about those comparisons. But I'm saying that India is a complex country and we need to form our own frameworks and come with our own frameworks and start working on it.
Understood. So, Swapnil, one key takeaway or the highlight from this discussion or question was that one size fit all approach will not work in the skill context, and we cannot blindly take the global practices and adopt them. So, how does Coursera's offerings keep that in mind and design its offering or courses so that it can address the complex needs of the students, even if the global practices are adopted, how they fit into context?
Oh, I think a very valid point, and I would also relate it to the first panel that we had between the CHROs, wherein they made the comment that the common notion between the HR fraternity right now is how we can reduce the training time as well as the onboarding time. How can it helps them to make sure that the students are ready when they are recruited? So it also points to the fact that students first need to have the right set of skill set to be employed. Thankfully, India is now widely known for a lot of GCCs which are being set up. So that global best practices are being followed and we are seeing the implications on ground. Having said that, coming on to how do we contextualize this to regional specific needs or student specific needs, I think AI is one big bet that everybody is eyeing on. And there are certain initiatives that Coursera has also taken. To begin with, Coursera Coach, it acts as a personalized tutor, a coach rather, I would say, which gives very personalized feedback to the students when it comes to learning. So at any course that the students is engaged or enrolled to, coach sets rights along with the student to offer the assistance, contextualize the topic, make it so personal so that student's journey is complete. It always keeps in mind that the student's learning objective of the course should be completed, number one. Second, I would talk about the advancement in technology. So machine learning is again coming at our rescue. So of the 8,000 courses that Coursera already have, amongst that 4,000 courses have already been translated into Hindi with the help of machine language translation. So that again offers a student at an ease for them not only to learn at their own pace, but have that linguistic capability to understand, comprehend the content better. And lastly, I would say that we have guided projects which will contextualize the learning, the theoretical aspect of it, giving some hands-on application to the students. So they're working on the actual softwares, some simulated projects are given to the students, they gain the confidence before they're applying for the job market ahead. So I think these are some of the factors which do take into account that how students' own experience can be front-ended with the help of the projects that they have done or the skills that they've inherited. And that's how we are rolling it back to the industry.
I think when we are talking about skilling, we have to be very clear about two things. One is we have hard skills and the soft skills.
Yes.
Soft skills you can easily develop through various means. You cannot teach swimming in classroom or football or cricket or whatever it is. You have to take them to the field. And this is what has been the major lacuna in the kind of skilling system that we have created so far. So we have to provide them industry exposure, field exposure. They should know what is going on in the industry and how they are going to fit in that scenario. So that kind of exposure and opportunity for practicing, because skill is all about practicing. So the more you practice, you acquire better skills and you can excel in that area. So we have to bring about in this kind of transformation where you are just not teaching, but training them and asking them to practice every day.
Right.
And that is what South Korea, Germany, and all, they have done that.
Correct.
You have to also create opportunities for them to become entrepreneurs. And this is what I was talking about BMW company, that they have started a small company where they are training them to be more creative. They have produced key rings. I bought one of them. And they are selling it there itself. So the concept of marketing. And these students or the apprentices would be going back into the system and would be starting their ancillary units.
Right.
Because they have been groomed to that. They would be opening auto sales units. So this is how the companies, they have to work.
Right.
And this is how the educational institutions have to push their students out to the industries and say, "Jao, wahan pe kaam karo, seekho, fir wapas aao."
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dr. Mehrotra, I have one reservation. We are talking about the German model and Korean model and like that. You see the number of students in our classroom. How many students are there? I tell you, maybe 200, 250 student and teacher taught ratio is very less. So how this skilling and the pedagogy is going to help the students with this much teacher taught ratio?
So I have the solution also for what we have doing. I mean, we have been doing that mistake for years together. We have not made batches in terms of the sectoral division that you can create at an early age. Let's take an example. Let's say there are 20 sectors: agriculture, IT, beauty, and all those sectors. Now you have to find out at an early age what is the skill interest. Like I did with my son. When he was in 8th standard, I gave him a questionnaire, and I could very well make out that he's very much interested in football. And when he reached 10th standard, he was in Sagar Public School. He was in the team of Sagar Public School. When he went to Symbiosis, Pune, he was in the team of Symbiosis, and he went to Manchester for his higher studies. Now, that kind of passion he had for football, and he's still playing football. Even when he's doing job, he's still playing football. He goes to Mansarovar School next to my place, and he's playing with his friends. This is what we have to identify. That is his passion. We are just pushing them to become servants of world through jobs.
Right.
They should be able to groom themselves for hobbies, for their passion, for their interest, for the aptitude that they have. And then they will become passionate about worldly things rather than craving for the worldly things. So
Right.
this is the difference that we have to create.
Yeah, that's a really valid point actually. And next, I would like to ask that since the technology is rapidly evolving, and as somebody mentioned that the procedure for curriculum updation is really rigid right now, but it's not possible to update the curricula every year also, right, with the rapid technological advancement. So given that fact, how can universities adapt to these changes well and more effectively to ensure that students still stay industry relevant and the skills stay industry relevant? I would like to start with Dr. Sudesh for this.
No, first of all, universities are free to be having any syllabus for any semester. It's maybe I think there are some impositions by the government. They don't recognize our things like AICT will impose these syllabuses, model syllabus. But at the same time, universities are supposed to be having their own syllabuses for any subject. And of course, there are few regulatory bodies like PCI, pharmacy, and then for the engineering and management, it is AICT and nursing. They have been trying to impose the things like I come from the Chirayu University. So NMC imposes a lot many syllabuses. But at the same time, minimum 20% is allowed by the UGC. So that can be made as per the requirement of the industry or the global requirement or the country requirement, and mainly it is the regional requirement. No? That's what the universities are supposed to be catering to. One thing that as long as your updation of knowledge, no? That skilling it's not one-time affair. It has to be time and again one has to update themselves. And as for the this World Economic Forum, I suppose that they have already pointed out that by 2030, on an average, because every region, every country, there is varying, means the data for change of skills are going to be different. But on an average, it is 39% of the skills are needed to be altogether new, and the rest of all are going to be obsolete. So one has to be quite visionary, and then accordingly we should be able to teach our kids, our students, and whatnot. There is one, of course, aspect as the student-teachers ratio was discussed. So there are a few programs in different universities that there is a class of 250 guys. In one single class, there are 300 guys. Like NMC doesn't have any norms that it should be a small compartmentalization or the batches, as you have been indicating. If it is 250 intake allowed for a medical college, it has to be one single class. So a professor has to be a bouncer first and then a technocrat and intellectual. So that is again, but of course, still our teachings and the professors and the crowd in terms of the students, they're all so talented that we are really producing a lot of talent catering to the entire world. But most important aspect, of course, it's a global era, but what to do for our own country, like, how we can improve upon our industrial setups, how we can develop our students so that they have a mindset to be staying back in the country and then going away. I come from IIT Delhi background, that is my alumni. I'm alumni of that. And the mindset is that just going away. People are really, they do not want to be staying back in the country like. And so is the environment. My son himself is away. So that unless until is changing, we create this right environment that these are all the possibilities in the country, and then you stay back and then go ahead with your task in hand. So for that, there are multiple aspects we can suggest and involve. Like in IITs, it is fully residential like scenario, which is coming in our traditional way of teaching is ashram mein bacche jaake wahin pe padhte the 100%. It is not day scholar like scenario. So constant teaching round the clock 365 days, if they are being taught something, so that's what is going to be really handy for them to be working for the country or working for the society. So there are various aspects people should be looking for.
Vinith sir, what would be your take on this?
No, I come from a state university background, and I worked with 3 state universities earlier. And there the scenario was a bit different when it comes to syllabus updations, because I was on the board of studies as well. And I will not name those universities. But yes, the syllabus used to be updated every 2 years, 3 years, 4 years sort of. But the advantage that now I get, working with the private universities, every year the syllabus can be updated. So that is one thing which I started off, the moment I took charge, I started off doing this. Because every year you can have a BOS, a Board of Studies, or a BOM and a governing council meeting. So, as far as private universities or autonomous institutions are concerned, every year they can change the syllabus per se.
Okay.
And I personally feel the syllabus should be updated every year, because the way that the changes are happening around the world is very drastic. When you talk about, the introduction of the AI and the way AI is shaping the world. We are moving away from generative AI now. And right now what I did is, I asked my faculty team to all the schools. We have got sectoral schools. We have got School of Retail, School of Banking, School of Logistics, School of CSIT. All the schools have been asked to integrate AI into their curriculum.
Right.
So I said I won the first drafts by, say, March last week. And then, it will be run through the industry experts. Then it goes to the BOS. I said, we are not going to the BOS first. You do the iteration first. Bring in the industry experts to the campus. Sit with them for 2-3 days. Sort it out. Then you go to the BOS. So we are trying to make sure that our syllabus is connected very closely to the industry. And it is like I've felt a lacuna in our system. That generally what happens is universities frame the syllabus, they teach, and then they feel that that is what the industry requires.
Right.
So here what I'm trying to do is the other way around, where we ask the industry, what do you require? And then start integrating it into our sectoral schools. So that's a big change that we are trying to bring in our university. I said we are not going to deviate anything from what the industry asks. Okay, so because then only the people, the students are going to be industry ready per se, what we say as industry ready. Otherwise, they are going to go just with the bookish knowledge, and I really don't know. I mean, that is where the gap is right now. And when, a gentleman here was talking about the Bloom's taxonomy. When you talk about academicians knows Bloom's taxonomy very well. Bloom's taxonomy, when you talk about the framework, it very clearly says that learning by doing has the highest retention rather than mugging up things.
Right.
And there is no meaning of, even when you talk about, say you say that you are certified in Power BI, okay, or you are certified in Tableau, but you don't know how to make a visualization. So, our syllabuses should be so updated, and the skill part of it should be integrated into the syllabus part, so that, they learn by doing things, and then they become the masters of this trade.
Right.
So that's how, I look at this syllabus content.
Yes. Swapnil, yeah, you were saying.
I think another challenge is the faculty development program. You just go on changing the syllabus, you invite industrialists and you add those things in your curriculum. But what about the mindset of the faculty members? Unless you have a good FDP every time, you cannot change the mindset of the teachers. And the second thing, value addition is very important. There are many courses through MOOCs. So teachers should tell students that these courses are available in the MOOCs. So instead of teaching in your classroom, you can go and take those courses.
Right.
The marks will be added, the credit will be added in your final year marks. So that way, I think the mindset of faculty members should also be changed.
So what you said is right. 100% on this. So that's why, I started off with my thing, like, generally what happens is we get the faculty from a conventional university system, try to put them into the skill framework, which doesn't work. Okay, so what we did in our university recently is, hiring is going on, okay. So one basic criteria that we have put in the university right now is, the faculty, whether it is an assistant professor, or associate professor, should have industry experience. Because if they don't have that industry experience, they will never talk the industry language.
Correct.
And at the director level, definitely you should have at least 10 to 15 years of industry experience. So that's a big thing. I know it takes time for it. It's not easy. Easy is said, done. It takes time, but if we don't move in that fashion, it becomes a bit of a problem. Even say when you're taking in a new faculty, say we are getting, say you are taking a fresh PhD graduate, but that person should be given that exposure in the industry.
Right.
So, you have to send them for small internship programs, or start working on joint projects with the industry, or curate MDP, FDP programs, curate consulting programs. I think that is going to be the way forward.
Swapnil, what's your opinion on this?
No, I would like to agree what sir did mention about that the faculty development has to happen. And I think there are clearly areas. One is like we need to have faculties to be trained in digital teaching pedagogy. Now that we are talking so much of influx about online learning and MOOCs coming at play, it's also to do with the online content creation, I believe, because it's high time that our faculties with so much of disciplined learning and content that they have, they can create good online material. And third, I feel is also about having these learnings which are there. For example, all the universities are offering so many courses. There's a wide variety of courses. There's a lot of multidisciplinary content can be built on, which is in-house. And that comes to the second part, that where the intervention can really happen is not just the core areas, but there's so much value add in terms of the value added courses, general electives, open electives, and even the minors programs perhaps, wherein the learning can happen through MOOC-based learning, I would say, in a nutshell. Second, to add to it, I believe how the gap can really be bridged is the industry micro credentials. I think so. That's wherein, which is the first foot forward from the industry folks, that they have designed these micro credit courses, and we've seen IBM. There are a lot more from Google, Facebook, Meta, etc. And these micro credentials are, as the topic suggests, the focus on certain micro areas, and we can creditize actually the learning that is happening. And these are such a powerful certifications. For example, if I talk about Google's product management certification, it's a 180-hour program. Probably if we translate, it's a 10 credit program. So, which in a way is making student a specialist in that area.
Right.
So that's a great degree of skills that the student can acquire through these microcredits or industry professional certifications and hone these skills to apply for the job market ahead.
My next question to you is, many universities are incorporating online content, global online content to bridge gaps and enhance industry-aligned learning. So how are you working with universities to build a curriculum that is flexible and agile and prepares students for real-world challenges and real-world jobs?
I think Coursera's approach in that way is the skills first approach in any which way. So it does allow students to hone skills. There's a lot of focus on the skill development aspect of it. At the same time, we would want to give these kind of analytics to the universities that they can monitor the skill progress at an individual student level as well. So that's to begin with. And adding to the point that I just mentioned, the multiple use cases of the universities that we are working with. So either it is blending in with the core curriculum that we are teaching. So it's amplifying the academics, the core academic subjects that we are teaching, or opening window of opportunities to enhance the value-added course bucket. Or in certain cases, it is even to offer the minors program completely on Coursera as a platform to supplement.
Right. Vijay sir, I would like to know from you that universities and industries are collaborating to provide internship opportunities to students nowadays. So, but what is observed is that these internship programs sometimes fall short of offering meaningful and hands-on industry experience. So, what can be done to ensure that students engage with the real-world challenges when these internship opportunities come in, and they develop practical skills and gain a deeper understanding of the real world when they enroll for these internships? What kind of internship program should be designed for that?
Post NEP, it is obvious for students to attend internship programs. So it is mandatory thing now, and industries are also in line because they are on boards now. Because as far as Scope Global Skills University is concerned, we are having advisory boards for all the faculty. Means all the faculty which we are running in the institution, and on that board, related industries members are there. And they are ensuring us that the candidates who passed out from your institution or want to go for internship, they are giving them opportunities. So it is necessary to onboard these industries. Means whatever courses which we are running in the universities should have the people on board from the industry so that they can give opportunities to the students. Previous point was that the updation of syllabuses. I would like to add a point in that, because post NEP, it is very easy now to upgrade or update any syllabus, because it gives us opportunity, and government is also enabling us to change the syllabus as and when required. Means obviously it is a yearly pattern, but government is allowing us, and micro credentials are there, credits courses are there. So we want to change. Our students also having options to change after 1 year or 6 months, so that they can have a different kind of exposures while doing a particular course. So both the aspects, means changing syllabuses or changing courses is easy, and the if industry is on board with you, definitely give you opportunities for internship, and it is mandatory for students to go for it.
Got it. So, what's your perspective on this? Vijay sir.
I think internship is essential for some of the technical courses. But my experience with some of the industries is not good, because the students go there. I will tell you example of some pharma industries. Students go there, they are not allowed to go inside the industry. They will ask to contact some expert in the area, maybe quality control section, and they will just help them in preparing some project, and that's all. So unless you have a very specific exposure of the workplace, you cannot help these students. So industry should come forward. They should allow students who are willing to work there. I think they have some problems also, because at one particular time there may be 40, 50 students from different institutions to go there for the internship program, and they can allow only 5 or 6. So that may be a problem. But if you just ask them to prepare some document for your evaluation purpose, it is not going to serve the purpose. So that is the
Issue.
worry. That is the worry.
Understood. Yes. Okay, so we'll just sum up this session. You people have highlighted the challenges as well as the opportunities available in the skill ecosystem. I would like to ask all the VCs and the professor present here, and just take 30 to 35 seconds in answering this question, that what specific skills will your university going forward focus on? What are your future plans? And according to you, what is the criticality of industry-academia collaboration to bridge those skills gap? Just 30 to 35 seconds, each one of you. We can start with Vijay sir.
So, as far as Scope Global Skills University is concerned, we are focusing on AI now, because this is the AI year, and we have already started AI courses in the university. We had already planned the AI roadmap for the university, and as our other panelists said, that we have added AI in each and every program. So we have already started this. And second one is drone. Use of drone is one area where we are focusing now, and we have collaborated with 1 or 2 companies so that we can have a drone facility available in the campus. And both means the drone pilots as well as maintenance of drones and development of new drones courses are available in the university now. So these are the 2 focus areas where we are working on right now.
In our university, we are focusing on electric vehicle. We have signed MOU with some of the companies. They have established one workshop there. And we have already established one project related to carbon capture. So how the carbon dioxide can be converted into methane.
Right.
So that is the project we are undertaking. And we have also starting some venture related to compressed biogas, using Napier grass, then cow dung, and the parali. So this is the area where we are doing. And in agriculture field, we are doing some, we have one project related to moringa plant, and the moringa leaves are being crushed, and the self-help group of the villagers are being given training for the economic development.
It is indeed a tough task to be matching the internship aspect of every single student, no? Because the ratio is not really matching. Because if there are, say, 500 students, so even industry, maybe say in case of automobile engineering or mechanical engineering, even in the surroundings or in the entire country, if you find that ratio, it can never cater the actual internship. It is only the paper, as I said, that they will be preparing the paper and then submitting, and then teachers, they give them the marks. And the industry, means teaching them shop floor kind of things in the university, it is just not possible, creating another industry in this. So it's a big puzzle, of course. It cannot be so easily solved. And universities are basically to give them the conceptual knowledge and details. No, that's what. Okay. As far as my university, Chirayu University is concerned, we offer all medical related programs. There are about 56 different programs, MBBS, 250 intake of seats are there, and then about 22 MD/MS programs, 5 medical MScs are there, and nursing programs, and various 18 paramedical programs. So without the internship and the actual hands-on, that is the specialization, where without the industry, you are not allowed to open a college. So for me, for us as a university, there's no problem because without the internship, doctors can't really practice. So that is again provided. And there is a medical hospital, I think that is one of the most prominent hospital. I think everyone in the entire region, including the chief minister and all the bureaucrats and anyone, he has been wanting to be treated in the hospital of Chirayu Hospital. Though there are aims and very old Gandhi Medical College. So, of course, as far as Chirayu University is concerned, we have been doing very well in terms of providing them the hands-on training through internships and various aspects of it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Vinith.
So as far as Symbiosis University Indore is concerned, the roadmap that we have laid down is basically to focus more on the interdisciplinary aspects,
Okay.
because we have got a faculty of management, faculty of engineering, and faculty of science. So for engineering, the focus area would be like automation and robotics and artificial intelligence and machine learning. That is going to be the focus areas. And data science is again, we are focusing more on that. So when I talk about the interdisciplinary approach, there has been a specific mandate given to each of the schools to integrate technology, AI being one, into each of the courses. And also data science. Data analytics is going to be a very important aspect, whether be it logistics or be it retail or be it banking. Data analytics is going to be the key. So, overall, if you ask me, the focus areas would be interdisciplinary approach, and second would be technology, integration of technology in all the courses of the university.
Got it.
So at PSS Central Institute of Vocational Education, from where I come from, and it's a constituent unit of NCRT. So we are dealing with all kinds of skills, to be very frank. Living skills, life skills, self-management skills, employability skills, 21st century skills, vocational skills, technical skills, and all kinds of skills that. But our focus is on learning outcomes. So we are developing learning outcome-based vocational curricula, ensuring that every child who comes out after completing that course should have achieved those learning outcomes. So one key takeaway could be like, we need to focus more on learning outcomes rather than the syllabus or the content or pedagogy and things like that.
Okay.
So if the teacher has all those competencies which he or she can transfer to the student based on the learning outcome, then those outcomes would be achieved,
Got
for
it.
which we are now talking about. So.
Okay. Swapnil, just to sum it up, how do you envision the future universities will look like, and how will technology, particularly generative AI, as highlighted by yes, Sir also, Vice Chancellors also, that AI would be a domain where the universities are working and would be working in future also. So how particularly Gen AI shape the future of higher education in terms of personalized training and learning and in engaging the youth in skilling?
Sure. I would like to answer the previous one and this one
Sure.
together. So I think with respect to the job skills, I'm proud to announce that Coursera has launched its 4th annual job skill report. And that's coming after the analysis of about learning that has happened by 5 million enterprise users and about 7,000 institutions using Coursera. It gives a fantastic insights and data analytics to what are the fastest growing job skills for 2025. It further gives you the insight into what are the top job skills with respect to AI. So if we've been talking about AI, but if I have to just name top 3, it is generative AI, then artificial intelligence with neural networks, and computer vision, which is to do with image processing. Second, the fastest growing skills with respect to business, and I was surprised to see that it was HR technology that stand out together. And further, the report talks about the fastest growing skills in data science and non-tech backgrounds as well. So I think it's worth giving a look, since we are all planning about how do we shape up the future and which skills to carry on. Second, you did mention about how does it make a difference, the AI initiative. So there are 2 initiatives taken by Coursera when it comes to AI and AI enablement. We've launched something called Course Builder, which is a very powerful AI tool. It carries the pedagogy of 8,000 courses which are existing on Coursera. enables a faculty who wants to develop any course using the same technology. And I've seen faculties doing wonderful job with it. They're able to launch course with the learning outcomes that you mentioned within 2 to 3 weeks time are able to achieve that. So I think that's a good victory point, and it can not only bring in the legacy of the content that's available on Coursera, but a faculty's own flair to develop the content and the modules. Second, the Coursera coach, which sits as an AI assistant to the student. So while we understand that online learning has a different notion at all together, student would still need support. They would need answer on a real-time basis. So Coursera coach sits as a personal assistant, offered 24/7 support to the student, and not only encouraging to complete the course, but also to achieve those learning outcomes for that they have signed up for. So these are the two initiatives on the
So
lines of AI.
just to inform
So
the
we
August
are falling
gathering,
short of time.
just
We will take a couple of questions from the audience. You can answer
yes.
them. Yeah.
Okay.
Any questions from the audience? We can take a couple of them. Just a couple of them, if any. Yeah, please pass on.
Thank you so much, everyone, sir. This panel actually gave us a lot of valuable information. Hello. Swapnil, sir, my question is to you, sir. As you are the online learning partner for not only the National Skill Conclave, but also for SSR GSP, if I'm not wrong. So I am a student, and I was actually I had my phone in my hand, and I was going through Coursera courses. The average price of every course was around more than 3,000, and even the Coursera membership, if I go for that's around 5,000 approximately, if I'm not wrong, sir. So if like me, I'm going for data science or Google project management, which is powered by Google, Microsoft, and IBM, such courses. Those courses are on an average duration has almost 3 months or more than 3 months, maybe 6 months also. So, sir, carrying that kind of membership price is for a student or a fresher like me is quite pricey, I feel. So, are there any initiatives that are taken by Coursera to give any fee waiver for the students or any financial aid that can be provided by Coursera?
First of all, great question, and I see the intent already that you would want to learn and then the larger programs for your benefit. I think there are two ways Coursera operates. One is we work in the retail manner as well. So the website that you see as an individual learner, you can go procure an individual certification or course, pay the fee. But we are also working with the institutions. Currently, we are working with about 4,000 campuses. Yes, it does come at a subsidized value when it comes as a campus offering, along with a lot more benefits, which unwraps some sort of services around it as well. So I think a better would be in terms of the institutional offering, and we'll be reaching out to the institutions as well with what additional benefits you can avail through it. Plus, there are certain discounts that you get when it is procured through the institutional support. Thank you.
Thank you to all the panelists, and some of the key takeaways from the session could be that we need to focus more on the learning outcomes, and a personalized approach to skill development would work better for individuals, not a one-size-fits-all approach. And any day we cannot ignore the fact that in strong industry academia collaboration is the way to go forward. Thank you, everyone. I would now like to call upon Neeraj Sahai, sir, to felicitate the speakers with a token of gratitude. Please welcome him with a round of applause. We'll have a group picture at the end. We can do a quick group picture. So we can do a quick group picture.